Hello, you guys, and welcome to the Ladies Tale podcast. And yes, I am jadeless today. Yeah, wait, yeah. It felt weird to say because jadeless, I mean, I don't have the person Jade here, but all of a sudden I was like, do I have on my jade necklace? And yeah, my brain is doing wonky things, I guess. Anyway, moving on. Let me see what we were talking about today. Normally I do banter, but there's no banter coming to my head, and it's really hard to do banter by yourself when you're a little tired and you recognize that you promised a book that you thought was finished, but it was only halfway done. You're out there talking about, no, it's done. And that's like, someone's like, I'd like your complete manuscript, please. And you're like, sure. And then you read through it and you're like, oh, it's not done. Well, guess who's writing till like 3 a.m.? Me. In a genre that she hates, but I'm working on it. I'm going to work it out. Enough talking about me. But when there's Jade here and me, I can normally say we wrote books. But she's not here, so it should be I wrote books. I'm going to still say we. We wrote books. Go figure. We have the And I Thought series. Is it over there? Nope, it's not. Anyways, And I Thought Divorce Was Bad and I Thought Being Grown Up Was Easy. They're both on audible.com, amazon.com, and barnesandnobles.com. There are 13 books in that series of the And I Thought series. You can find the rest of it on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. We also have the Misfit Guide series. Same places you can purchase it, Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. We are the co-founders. I shouldn't say co-founders. Jadelessness has rubbed off on me because Jade always says, we're the co-founders. No, we are the founders of the 25 Hottest Authors, Artists, and Advocates magazine. It is 196 pages long, but you can find everything that I just told you about on www.andwethought.com. But you are not here to hear about us. You are here to hear about my wonderful guest today, who is Gabriella Harris. I might be saying that wrong because you guys know I don't introduce people. But since this is the Ladies Tale podcast and I'm a narcissist and this is my narcissist project, I'm going to give it a shot. She read 3 parts and the manager's pilot episode, which is like an old-timey radio sort of thing. We did a little table read for it, and you can listen to it in episode 1 of this podcast. Go figure. If you just got here and you're like, Gabrielle, oh my goodness, this was an awesome interview, go listen to episode 1 and listen to her work, and then, give her a job as an actress. But in the meantime, she's going to introduce herself. Gabrielle, would you like to tell us a few things about yourself?
Yeah, hi. So it's actually Gabriella. Don't know why you type Gabrielle. I don't know. And yeah, I live in Las Vegas. I've pretty much lived here almost my whole life. And yeah, just consuming a lot of art during COVID. Lots of Netflix.
Oh my goodness, nice to meet you then, since you're consuming a lot of art. There's a lot of people that are consuming art in the way of Netflix and Hulu and stuff. Is that what you meant? Or did you mean like actually consuming a lot of art, like from the indie artists?
No, I wish. Like if I find them, I do, but it's mostly like Disney Plus because Hamilton just dropped and like Netflix.
How many times have you watched it, Hamilton?
5.
Yeah,
same for me.
I watched it 6 times. I was like, I need to stop. But it's so oh my goodness. I was like, if I had known this play was that good, I would have went earlier. No, I wouldn't have. I don't do Broadway. Anyway, what's your favorite part?
Satisfied. That's the first song I heard from the play, and like it just like hit me in the feels.
Oh, I like the young scrappy one, like My Country. That's just cool. I'm not gonna waste my shot. I wake up every morning like that. Are you wasting your shot today? And Jade looks
that's
like, need to calm down. It is a pandemic. Everyone's wasting their shot.
Exactly.
But I'm home. I shouldn't waste my shot. But what were you saying before? It's a good what?
Like, yeah, My Shot, like that's a good like pump you up song. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get stuff done. Not necessarily right now. You're right. Pandemic is slowed everybody, but yeah, like that's a good like feel good song.
It is. So I'm assuming one day that we will see you up there. Are you a Broadway type theater actress, or do you want to do like movies, television type of actress?
So I'm open to anything, but honestly, my background is in theater. It's kind of the only thing that I've done for now. So, I mean, please hit me up if you guys have some film opportunities. I can adjust. But yeah, like I've been doing theater acting since I was about 14. So that's all I know, but I'm open to everything.
So what are the challenges in theater acting?
Do you mean like in theater acting or just acting in general?
Theater acting.
Yeah, it's honestly the challenge comes from me being a plus size woman, me being a mixed race woman. They're just like not really writing the parts. And so the opportunities, like, I'm like, man, if you guys could just let me, like, for 1 second, let me do this part, I'm gonna blow your mind. So that's just like that's the hardest part, is getting the chance and like having the directors kind of be like, oh, no, yeah, like you get it, like you're right for this part. That's the hardest challenge, but that's the challenge in any kind of art or anything that we, creatives, people of color, like that's our biggest hurdle no matter what. It's just getting a chance, getting a fair chance compared to everybody else.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's funny because people always are like, well, when I first started off in entertainment, this was completely by mistake, by the way. This whole entertainment thing is by mistake. So when I first started off, I was writing books, and then we started this show and the podcast. Not this particular one. We have another one called The Women's Cave. Started the show and the podcast, and things grew, and then we needed a talent manager. Well, we had a choice between a literary agent and a talent manager, and we chose a talent manager in the Hollywood area in La La Land. And the first thing that she told us, she is African American, so do not get mad at her. But the first thing that she told us is your color will limit you. And I was like, pish posh, it's never limited me in my life. And I move on. And I was like, this is the first time ever where it's like, yeah, um, we thought you thought
Yeah.
a different color. Yeah, you only listen to our podcast ever. Yeah, okay. I understand. This opportunity wasn't meant for me. I understand. I understand. And I was like, it's very weird, because that happens every once in a while and you move on. But this, I was like, y'all are serious. Y'all are really serious about, no, not made for you. It's like, wait, what? All the time? That's so weird. So how have you found ways to get over it? Because I still haven't. I'm not going to lie. I just was like, well, I'm going to go around. How did you find it?
Well, the thing is, like, my parents kind of instilled in me that like I can do anything. So I kind of grew up with like the swagger or like the confidence of like a cis straight white male. I was like, I got this. I can do anything. And it's also like I'm first generation American, so I'm like anything that I'm doing, it's for the family, it's for the legacy. So like that's how I like there's no option to stop, and there's no like I don't take no for an answer. I'm gonna keep going. And it's like you're gonna notice me. And if there's not a lane created for me, I'm gonna create it myself. Like I'm just gonna keep pushing forward. So that's the only thing I can think of, is like if you really feel like you're in the right spot and you feel like you're doing what you're meant to do on this earth, then who cares what anybody else says, because you know better, you know differently.
Nice. So I'm a narcissist. I'm gonna talk about me now. So sorry. It's your
No.
interview. It's my turn. But, so when I say I'm gonna talk about me, I'm gonna talk about managers real quick. First of all, I want to say that if there's a showrunner out there, if there is a acquisitions person or a development executive listening to this, please know that I do want managers made into a TV show. Granted, I do want it made into a TV show if Gabriella here can play Angel. That's it. That's my only requirement. Well, no, and then Tanya, and then there's a bunch. That's just it's only two. It's only two. Anyway, it's not like I'm trying to cast myself, so that's pretty good. So let's get to the question, my narcissist question part. So about managers, how did you like the roles? First of all, what roles did you play? And then
yeah, I read for the 21-year-old Swa and then Kelly. And I really enjoyed it. I was like, oh, there's like a lot of potential for this to get really messy, and I love mess. So I was like, oh, this could go many, many different ways.
Oh my goodness, everyone we've interviewed so far has been like, I'm like, what do you want to happen next? They're like, all I feel I need is more drama. It needs to get messy. And I'm like, it's supposed to be fun and lighthearted. And once you cut it off, you're supposed to be like, well, that was nice.
Yeah.
That's your life. And I'm like, if it's messy, everyone's gonna be like, what's happening next week? Like, that's not the point. But anyway, so how do you feel your characters could be expanded?
So I'm personally interested in like the SWA and Ronald relationship. I feel like that's where the mess kind of comes in because they're a hot mess and they have an open relationship and they both kind of agree to it, but they both like kind of don't. So I would love to see like that explored a lot more. Like what is that dynamic? Like what is going on? Who came up with the rules? Because you think at first that it was Ronald, but it looks like SWA is in control. So it's like, what is going on in that world? Like, why are they even still together? That I'm like so interested in. And then something that I picked up on that I don't think anybody else did when we were reading was what's going on with Sean and Yvette? Like something happened there. I don't know if it was like they crossed the line into more than like a working relationship, but I'm interested in that too. What is happening there? Why is Sean like looking back on everything and being like, oh, sorry that you guys felt that way. Like, what did Sean do? Basically.
Everyone wants to know what Sean did. As the writer, I know. And I'm like, now I'm feeling like, as I said, I'm feeling like maybe Sean didn't do enough. Maybe he should do more. So, what do you want to see happen in episode 2? And then this is the end of my narcissism questions.
So at the end of episode 2, I'd like to see more about the three writers, the ladies, just kind of like what their kind of dynamic is. If memory serves me correctly, they were siblings, correct?
Uh, Yasmin and Jenny are siblings, and Kelly is just kind of like there. She's kind of like a sister.
Oh, okay.
Not
So yeah,
really.
I would like to see more of like how they kind of got together in this kind of filming because it's like it's not like a typical reality show. Usually it's like a basketball wife or like a real housewife. So how did they get into this whole let's show people about our kind of like our writing life, our author life. That's what I would like be more interested in for the second episode is their kind of relationship.
Nice. I wish I had talked to you before I finished the second episode. Well,
Dun, dun, dun.
but for people who don't know, this is like our second shot at doing an interview. I messed up the first shot at doing the interview. And if we had done that interview, it would have been like literally 4 hours before I finished the second episode. But and that would have been helpful information to know. Anyway, moving on. Can you tell us how you got into acting and what your dream role is?
Yeah, so when I've always been performing, like ever since I was really small. So I started out in choir and then it progressed to like show choir. And when I was in the eighth grade, we did this show called 100 Years of Broadway. And it inspired me. I felt like I wasn't getting enough from choir. I felt like I could do more. So then I auditioned for our creative arts or performing arts magnet high school here when I was 14 and I was accepted. And yeah, as soon as I got started in acting, it was just kind of like, oh, this is it for me. Like this is what I was meant to do. And I went on to study acting at Southern Utah University. And that's where I just kind of like really fell in love with like Shakespeare and, studied it. And then post graduation, I've been here in Las Vegas, kind of auditioning. Of course, life gets in the way. There was, certain things that happened, but that's been like my kind of journey with acting.
Nice. It's a nice journey, and you studied acting. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because everyone goes go to college, get a safe career, and then go into acting. You are really, really dedicated, and I
Yes.
hope that you make it like everywhere that you want to go. So, what's your dream role?
Dream role, I love, like, for film, I would love to be a lead in a romantic comedy. Like, romantic comedies are like, those are like my comfort. Those are like my feel good. Some of my favorite movies are romantic comedies. So I would love, like, and a lot of people think it's very like lowbrow or whatever, but to me, I love it. I love that. I love love, and I love seeing it depicted on screen. So that would be like my dream, like, film role. And then as far as like theater is concerned, I would love to be in for Colored Girls one day. I would love to play Lady in Blue. Honestly, I would be a tree like swaying in the breeze, but Lady in Blue is like has my heart.
Oh wow, I love that you have like that nice airy role, and then you got that role that's just gonna be like, yo. So if this is
Yes.
a if this is adaptation for film, sign me up for the Oscars. You have
Yes.
both. You have both. So do you ever think you'll dabble in writing, or do you dabble in writing?
Honestly, writing is not something that I ever really did. Like, I did poetry when I was younger, but actual like screenplay or playwriting, it's not something that's ever crossed my mind. But lately, kind of in the vein of creating my own lane, I'm like, I'm gonna pull like a page out of Lin Manuel Miranda's book, and it's like, if you're not gonna write the role for me, then let me just write it myself. So I've kind of been dabbling with that, and I actually have a brother who's a very gifted writer. So we've been talking about maybe like working on a project together that, especially with all this downtime, let's get something together. Let's put out a story that we want to see where, we're the protagonists, and also it's coming from like a genuine place, because there's nothing that I dislike more than having a person of color kind of thrown up on the screen, and you can tell that it wasn't written by it was not written by a person of color. So that's kind of like where we've been kind of coming through, and there's been a lot of opportunities lately for people of color to like really come up. Like, now we're starting to really find like we're getting our chance, so that's been inspiring. So yeah, maybe in the future, like, I'll finally come around to it. I just have like the initial fear of like, oh my gosh, do I even like, can I even write that many words? Do I have enough creativity up here to like get it going? So after I get over that, maybe definitely, that is something that I'll look
Oh, you definitely do. You
into.
you've used that many words in this conversation. Are you joking? You're good to go. You are
Yeah.
so good to go. So I just wanted to let you know that I do have a romantic comedy script for a feature. I do nothing with. So I mean, if you ever run across the path of an executive and you're like, I should play lead, just hand that to me. Happily be like, here, you can have it. Hand it to her. If you play lead in it, you really, really should. She's
Yes.
awesome. But can you tell us what's coming up next, where people can find out more information about you and hopefully book you for shows?
Yes. So I'm part of a company here in Las Vegas. It's called Bard at the Bar. So we try to make Shakespeare more accessible, kind of take like the snobbery out of it. So we take plays and we condense them down to about an hour, and then we perform them in bars. But of course, because of COVID, that's not something that we're doing right now. And I'm currently cast in the play. We combined Caesar and Cleopatra, and so like Julius Caesar and Cleopatra and Antony. So we have both of those plays kind of meshed into one, and we will be filming that, and then we're going to stream that on Facebook August 23rd, and we have a Facebook event. So if you go to Bard at the Bar Facebook page, you'll see the link there, and we're going to have like a Q&A after that'll be really exciting for anybody who really just wants to learn more about maybe the process, or just talk about like, you know if you love Shakespeare, like what you hope to see going forward from the company.
I love this. I love this a lot. And yes, people, there are tickets for the Q&A. So you should
Yes.
probably go get one. I'm not sure if they're on sale yet.
No, not yet. They'll be on sale as of August 1st.
Yeah, because I was like, I have it on my calendar to purchase them, and the link is right there. So like when it pops up, I'm gonna click and purchase my ticket because I will be there. I mean,
Yeah.
Tanya's playing in it, and now Gabriella's playing in it. I'm going to see it, and you guys should go see it too. And hopefully, we can convince a few more people together to come see this. Where can they find your reel or anything like that? Do you have one of those?
So I don't have reels yet. That is still in the making because I'm not used to filming myself for things. It's basically just been theater, but now with the play being filmed, there's gonna be something coming up, and I'm hoping to get more creative on TikTok. I feel like that's such a great platform these days. So definitely, I'm on Instagram at Gabrielle underscore 89, and I'm on Twitter as well. And yeah, just that's where I get like my next plays and things. I post a lot on my social media.
I forgot to ask a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was supposed to be like my rounding out question, and I was supposed to close after that. But I forgot to ask one of my narcissism questions. Since it's my show, I'm going back to
Sure.
ask. So, which did you like playing more, Kelly or Spa?
I
And
liked I liked Swan more because again, I like mess, and she's messy, and I also liked that she she didn't mind. Like it was like we're talking about you possibly stepping out of your marriage. You kind of have an attitude, and she was like, whatever. You don't have to like me. This is me. So I really liked that. That was like liberating to play.
oh, well, if you stick around for episode 2, will you be around for episode 2?
Yeah, hopefully I
Oh,
would love, you know, if you would love to have me, I'd love to be there.
awesome! I would love to have you. You did a great job as Spa and Kelly. If you're around for episode 2, Kelly has like the majority of the script. That's okay.
We
That's
didn't
all.
see too much of Kelly in the first episode, so I don't really have much to go off of just yet, other than she was like always late. So,
And
you know,
let us not forget that she almost had the wardrobe malfunction.
oh yes, yes, of course.
I find it humorous that you got to play Swala, who is definitely a hot mess, and no, she's not a hot. She's very confident in what she does.
Yes.
Like even if she makes a decision and it's wrong, it's right because she did it. Flat.
Yes.
Yeah, but like you, and then you get to play Kelly, the one person who's like late and chill and gets on stage and is like, yeah, everyone's going, well, will it or won't it? Will it or won't it? Talking about,
Right. She doesn't even notice.
yeah. I was like, she got to play both messes in this. This is great, and you love the mess.
Yes.
Again, tell us where you can find out information about you, and then this time we're gonna wrap up for real.
Yes. So if you go to facebook.com, type in Bard at the Bar, that's going to give you more information about my next project coming up. And then again, I'm on social media at Gabriella underscore 89 on both Instagram and Twitter.
Thank you so much, Gabriella. And yes, I said it right. Look at that. My lips are working correctly. Gabriella coming today and talking about my little narcissist project and about your career, which was much more important than my narcissist project. So you can find everything that your ladies are doing at www.andwethought.com. If you want to know what episode that we are talking about through this entire interview, and you're like, who is a SWA and what is a Kelly and what will it or what's willing or what? You should go back to episode 1 and listen to managers the table read. It's kind of like an old time radio show. When you go to our page at www.andwethought.com, go to the ladies tab, go down to the middle of the page and see the charities that we proudly support. We know during the pandemic that giving money is not an option for everyone, for most of us. So maybe you could take the time out to give maybe some of the things you cleaned out of your house and be like, oh, I'll just mail them to the charities. They will appreciate that immensely. Or if you can't do that, just write them a nice little email and let them know that the work that they're doing is seen and appreciated. it'll be helpful to them and you because you'll feel good about what you did. So remember that you can listen to stories all around you. And if you listen to them well, maybe you'll write one too. Have a lovely day from the Ladies Tale podcast.